And today we have one of the rising sophomores in the state of Arizona. He had an incredible tournament at Fear the Hop out at Mesa High School. So we had to get him on the podcast like we usually do here. I have Dylan Novak from ALA Gilbert North. Appreciate you coming on today. I know it's your birthday as well. So happy birthday.
There.
Hope you had a
Thank you.
great day.
Thank you.
But how's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm hyped.
Well, appreciate you coming on, taking the time, especially on your birthday of all days. I
Yeah.
honestly would have never expected you to say yes to coming
Yeah.
on your birthday. Um, how was Fear the Hop? A lot of popular players seem to be playing, like Zach
Yeah.
and the rest of DM, Isaiah, AJ, and lots of others. How was it for you? I know you guys ended up winning the championship, and you
Yeah.
were given MVP. We'll get into that too. Overall experience for you, how was it?
I mean, it was pretty crazy. Going into it, we were like the underdogs, which was pretty cool. And I think everybody expected us to lose that first game to Mesa. So it was just pretty cool to just overcome everything everybody said about us and just do our thing.
Yeah, so let's get into that. I got your schedule pulled up here. You're 4-0 on the season. You played Mesa, Cienega, Mesquite, and Desert Mountain. Um, those are some tough teams. Mesa's got a lot of firepower on all sides of the ball with Coda, AJ. I forget their big man's name, but he's a big kid.
Yeah, he is.
Cienega, another great team from down south.
Hmm.
I've had Gabe Proctor on as well, and then Mesquite coming off the state championship last year. It's probably a little bit of hype still. I know they got a lot of returning guys,
Hmm.
and then DM as well. Take me through, some of the challenges you faced in those games. What were some of the things you ran into, and how were you able as a team collectively to get through it and win the whole thing?
Yeah, so Mesa, we really ran into just adversity from the crowd and from because we've never like it's a small school, we've never really played in a big atmosphere like that. So it was crazy just to deal with that and be able to stay focused on the game. And I think we handled it really well. And then Cienega too, just it's big guys, and we just overcame that with our shooting. And then Mesquite has Cohen, so I mean, we tried to deny him the ball, and he still ended up scoring 30, but we got the win. So it
What
was,
is the thing about Cohen? I know a lot of the hype last year was around Nate, how he
yeah.
handles the ball, creates for not just himself but his teammates.
Mhm.
Um, what is it about Cohen that makes him so hard to guard? Because I looked at his Instagram the other day. I'm like, this dude's got like 12,000 followers. I'm like,
No,
where's he from? But what makes him so hard to guard? And what was the challenges you faced, especially going up against him as the lead guard for ALA?
yeah, I mean, he's just fast. And like, he would come off a screen and I would just be chasing him. And all of a sudden he'd just stop and like just bait me into a foul. And it's just like, it was tough to keep up with off the ball and on the ball. And he shoots a lot. So he makes some tough shots. But yeah, I mean, we ended up winning. So we did
Desert
okay.
with Desert Mountain, you guys pull off the win 76-73. DM is looked at it as a top team
Yeah.
uh, around the valley with Zach, with Ryan, with Kalik, with Caden, and the rest of the guys. I talked to Zach after because I was actually at the Notre Dame Centennial game
Oh,
uh,
okay. Yeah.
that night, and I texted. I'm like, the refs like ruined that game. There was no flow. Like it
Yeah.
was foul after foul, turnover
Yeah.
after turnover. And he said pretty much that's exactly what happened
Yeah.
in our game against you. Um, what was some of the things that happened during that game? He talked about how, he even said that Kazi Ball is life posted. I
They
guess
did.
the refs were calling a lot of different fouls compared because of the house's athleticism. Supposedly that's what one of the refs said.
Yeah. That's what I
But
heard.
what was some of the challenges you faced with them, and how were you guys able to overcome such a tough team?
Yeah, I mean they came out just hot. Like I think they hit like six, seven threes in a row. It was like holy. Like I was like, man. But we just never slowed down and just I mean, I knew eventually it would die off, but I just didn't know how long. And then yeah, we just kept going. And then at halftime, I actually got on my teammates a little bit. I was like, look, if we're not gonna play with some heart and some passion, like then like just don't play. Because we just like we needed some positive energy and then we came out and just we put it on them in the second half, and yeah, and then the foul thing. I mean, what the way I saw it was like, I felt like they came out of halftime and started shooting threes. I felt like there wasn't much for us to foul, and we
Mm.
started attacking the basket. So I mean, but that's also from my side. So everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the rest of this year, what you expect from you, I want to get in a little bit of what your freshman year was like for you. You guys were in 3A. You finished 20-10. A lot of ups and downs throughout the year. You started
Yeah,
off with like a 28-point loss to SCA.
yeah,
And it was kind of up and down throughout it. Um, but before we get into, this upcoming year, how do you feel your freshman year went as a whole?
yeah. Well, I mean, it went pretty good. Like you said, there was a lot of ups and downs. We had some big wins, some big losses, and it was just like we never really got into a flow. And I think that's our thing this year. Like this summer, we played games and we didn't lose all summer, maybe like one or two games. We just had some like stuff happen where a kid didn't play and stuff like that. But yeah, we really got into a flow and really figured out the chemistry. And yeah, we're going to roll this year, I think.
What things have you focused on most this offseason? I know you played for D1 New Mexico.
Yeah.
Nazir Davis, one of the other kids I had on when I first started interviewing a lot of you guys. I know
Mm,
he plays for them.
yeah.
He's an athletic freak.
Yeah.
I've looked at some of his videos he's posted since I've had him on, and I'm like, you're like cradling the ball like Aaron Gordon. I'm like, what? I was like, what kind of shit are you doing, honestly, when you're like a junior in high school and doing this stuff?
Yeah.
What things have you focused on most this off season? A lot of exposure happened throughout this past week, and we'll get into that too. But this past summer with club and summer ball, what were some takeaways that you tried to improve your game on?
Yeah. Well, one of my main things this offseason was jumping and athleticism and speed. Cause I mean, I felt like I could beat dudes, and like make my own shot, but I couldn't really get by them. And so I started training with TR Sports Training. Shout out Tanner. Uh, yeah, we just started doing a lot of speed and agility stuff, and I got my bounce up, started dunking, and I think it's just really helped my overall. It's changed my mid range and just a lot of things for me.
Yeah, let's get into that because you're 6'1". You're looked at as one of the top sophomores, and I think top sophomores in the state now.
Yeah.
Of course, you reposted it, so I had to screenshot it.
Mhm.
AZ Central posted the top 20 players from these past kind of. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like preseason tournaments. It's just like
Yeah.
the tournaments kind of kick off the season.
Mhm.
You were
Yeah.
number one.
Hmm.
Richard Olbert, who's a very legendary high school sports reporter
Yeah.
and writer in the state, had this to say about you. The point guard was the MVP of Mesa's Fear the Hop after leading the 4A team to a big comeback win over Desert Mountain in the championship game after getting down 22-5 in the first quarter. Novak put his team on his back and poured in 31 points with 8 rebounds and 5 assists. In your words, though, what can we expect to see from Dylan Novak this year?
I mean, I just want to win. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes, whether it's scoring 0 points or scoring 40. So, yeah, I really just want to win. I think we can beat anybody, and we just proved that this tournament, and we just got to keep it going. And we can't like listen to all the noise, whether it's positive or negative. We just got to try to do our thing. So we're just gonna win.
Hey, I saw that clip on Instagram of I don't know who it was that interviewed you post game, but I know your school posted it. Of you
Yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah.
you feel like you can beat anybody.
Mhm.
Um, the confidence you guys played with, it was pretty insane. As a 4A school, it's a
Yeah.
smaller school. I mean, Mesa's a big, I think they're 5A. I think they're 5A, maybe 4A too, but bigger school, DM, big school.
Mhm.
Cienega's a pretty decent sized school down in Tucson.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What made you guys though play with so much confidence? I mean, coming in as a lot of the underdogs, a lot of people doubting what you guys could do. What made you play with so much confidence and get that kind of big streak going?
Yeah. Well, I think we really just wanted it. I think the whole underdog thing really helped us actually. It made us like look like and that happened to us in the fall season too. We played AZ Compass and everybody was like, oh,
Oof.
you're gonna get killed. And then we ended up beating them by like 4. And yeah, so that was like a big deal. And then yeah, that was when we were like, okay, like we can do it. So and then yeah, we just kind of carried over that confidence and did it again.
What is one word you would say best describes how you play? We're gonna get into kind of someone I see when I watched, all the highlights and the tape that I was able to watch of you. But what's one word you would say best describes how you play?
Probably leadership, just like whether it's on the ball, off the court, on the court. I feel like I can be the guy that like kind of keeps everybody together, and I feel like that's important because without that, team could just easily fall apart. And yeah.
Is there anybody you try to play like, after I know you're a lefty, which I think you're one of the first lefties I've had on I've had on my show. Which I was honestly after watching, what Timeout posted and I forget there's a ton of people on my Instagram feed that were just posting about that game. Kind of
Mhm.
surprised me you were a lefty for a second, but you kind of remind me of like a lefty SGA because you're
Yeah.
really smooth with your ball handling, you're quick off your feet, um, and you're able to create, for others as well. I got your per game stats up here. Against Mesa, 23-4, against Cienega, 15-5-2, against Mesquite, 19-8-3, and then DM 31-5-8. You seem to be a guy that has a lot of skills to be able to do it in all sorts of ways
Yeah.
on the court. But is there anybody you try to play like or add pieces to your game to not just play like them, but become the best player you can possibly be?
Yeah. I mean, I've always looked up to Steph Curry. That's always been my guy. Trey Young. So guys like that that just really create shots off the dribble. I like that kind of vibe. And yeah, those have been my two main players for sure.
So right now you're averaging 21 a game, 5.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and about 1.5 steals per game. Uh, Through these first 4 games to kick off your year, what made you feel so confident in those games to be able to not just like perform the way you did, but like handle the adversity of playing against some of the tougher guards in the state?
Yeah. I mean, I just wanted, like, I've always wanted the attention from, I've always seen videos from Timeout and from E-Visions and stuff like that. And I've always was like, just like, man, like I can do that. And I just needed to, but like being in 3A, we didn't get as much like respect or attention, which is understandable because the teams, obviously it's not the same level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just looked at this. Me and my dad were talking about it. Like it's a big opportunity before the tournament, and we said like if we can win this, like we're gonna be everywhere. And I just wanted it so bad. So yeah, we did it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your take on this as well. You were a 3A school last year, like you said. You bumped it to 4A, which may not seem to a lot of people like a big jump, but it is in a lot of
Yeah,
ways. Not
yeah,
because sometimes it is because of school population, but it
mhm,
also is because of the sports as well. If you do well in a season, you get
yeah,
bumped up and so on and so forth. You see, the prep schools like Compass, Dream City, Hillcrest that just get all these. It seems like goons from I have
yeah,
no freaking clue
yeah.
where
No,
that are
yeah,
all 6'9", 6'10", and they're windmilling, but then they go up against a school like you guys,
hmm
probably guys that have known each other since they were kids,
yeah.
grassroots all the way up.
hmm
What does it mean though for you to be able to put a small school like ALA on the map with such a big performance like you did?
I mean, it means a lot because we've always had people say, well, you're going to need to transfer eventually. Like, ALA is not going to last. You're going to have to go to 6A school or prep or just anything else but ALA. And we were just like, like, we'll figure it out. Like, let us do our thing. And yeah, yeah, I don't know. It ended up working out now.
Yeah, it seems to me, in my eyes with prep, it's a hard thing because there's a lot of great kids that come out of that, of course.
Yeah.
But for also a lot of others, it becomes you become a number in a lot of
hmm
ways.
Yeah.
Not just because like they all have the same skills or you're able to play at the same intensity and
Right.
competitiveness, but
Yeah.
I mean everybody just goes because they think it's gonna be better. I think sometimes staying at a school like you are is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Um, Not necessarily. I'm not trying to put you on the spot of saying, do you plan on staying at ALA
Yeah.
because you're only a sophomore? But
Mhm.
how exciting has it been for you to be able to like help your school get to this point and you're only a sophomore and could possibly have years to come and build kind of a school legend name?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. It's just been cool because ALA hasn't really been big on sports, in the past. Everybody's just kind of like, oh, basketball has a game, it's cool. But now it's like turning into like in the hallways, it's like, oh, like that game was sick last night, and like it's turned into like more of a culture, which is like it's a cool thing because we're like I feel like it's changing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see that we have an impact on it.
With the hype you guys have gotten this past weekend with the recognition, especially you're undoubtedly playing at an extremely high level right now. What are you going to do to make sure you continue to play at this level throughout the entire season and it isn't just for a hot second, like probably a lot
Mhm.
of people are thinking?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be tough because we're gonna play some weaker teams, like tomorrow, not to like diss on a team, but I mean they're 0-4, so it's gonna be hard. Like we struggle sometimes with playing down to teams. So we just gotta be able to just like have fun in the moment and just enjoy it and play us instead of worrying about, that kind of thing. So I think
Yeah.
when we just like have fun and play our game, we can, yeah, that's when we are at our best.
So you are playing against Apache Junction. I do want to get through the rest of your schedule and just see how you feel about, some of the teams you're going up against and who you're most excited to play against. A little bit of a tough stretch after this Apache Junction game, after you, like you said, 0-4. You got
Mhm.
Saguaro, Higley, Tempe, Canyon del Oro, Arcadia, um, Marcos Deniza. I hope I'm pronouncing that
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Sorry.
Um, you do have Peoria on the 6th. I'm going to try to get out to that game. I've had Andrew Camacho on, and I would love nothing more than to see you and Drew go up against each other. ACP, ALA Queen Creek, Combs, Poston Butte or Poston Butte. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. ACP, Eastmark. I had Reese on, and he's looking for some vengeance this year as well. Queen Ayla, Queen Creek again, Combs, Poston, and then Eastmark. Kind of it goes into region, of course, through the end, like the probably the
Right.
back half of the year.
Yeah.
But being able to play teams like Peoria, like Higley, like Saguaro, are those teams you're looking forward to playing against, or who are you most looking forward to playing against this year?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to those first few games because it's gonna be another, big opportunity for us, just like the tournament was. And then, playing against an Eastmark like Reese, that's my guy. So it's gonna be fun to play against him. And then like an ALA Queen Creek, because I mean, they say they're our rivals, but they don't beat us. So like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. They like to talk though, so that'll be a fun game too. So
I mean, I feel like that's what you got to say though, is because especially with like how many ALAs are there?
too many. I don't know. It's like there's like three main ones, and now they're building more. So yeah, I don't know what's
And
going on.
it's called American Leadership Academy, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it charter? I'm assuming,
It's
right?
charter. Yeah. Charter school.
Okay. Um, yeah, that's so interesting to me because I've got so confused through these past couple, seeing you guys kind of
Yeah.
pop in because it's you guys, it's Queen Creek.
Hmm.
There's a few more. I don't know where, but I've seen a few more.
Yeah.
Um, with though, you got ranked over guys like Koa and Cody who had big weekends
Hmm.
at Gilbert too. How are you not going to let, this kind of overnight stardom, a lot of people would say, I guess, get to your head, but how do you not let the hype get to you and you be able to play your game throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah. Well, I think now I have like a standard, that
Mm.
I'm set at with like the rankings, and there are going to be more people watching, and I just don't want to stop now. So I just want to go up from here and just play the best I could possibly play and better, than I already have.
What is the goal for you guys this year? It's one of my last questions for you. Of course, a lot of people say, "Oh, we want to win state. We want to go after this team."
Mm,
But with you being a small school, what are the small goals you guys have? Because last year, excuse me, second in your region, but you're also now bumped up a region. So, but what are some goals ALA Gilbert North basketball as a whole has for this upcoming year?
yeah, so our goal is to just win as many games as possible. Beat Higley, beat these bigger name teams that a lot of people say we can't beat, and then make it to play or win the region, go undefeated in the region because they changed that, or I don't think it's a 4A rule. It wasn't like that in 3A where you can go home games until state. So that would be a big deal if we could win that region and go straight to state with home games. And then, yeah, we want to win state. That's the goal.
One of my last questions for you is what is the goal for you? Do you have any averages you want to hit? Any, like recognition standpoints you want to hit? I've had like Braden Speed on, who as a sophomore last year, he was like defensive player of the year, all region defensive team, all region third team, like this, and the other. Is there any personal goals you have for yourself now building off the expectation and standard a lot of people are going to have on you?
Yeah. Well, last year I was offensive player of the year, first team all state, first team all region. So the goal would be to get back at that, the first team stuff. And then I want to move towards player of the year this year instead of just offensive player of the year because I think my defense has really improved. But then also I'm a team guy, so I just really want to win.
Yeah, well, I think you definitely have that insights, hopefully for this year, but definitely in the future with the standard you and the expectation you now have.
Mhm.
And I definitely think you can live up to it. But usually, my last question, Dylan, with how I end this is favorite on court shoe. I know ALA is a Nike school. You
Yep.
posted a flick on on your Instagram story for your birthday countdown last night.
Oh
There
yeah,
was a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of expensive shoes in the back, and I
A lot
see
of
a
shoes,
couple
man.
right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, we got them back here.
what are going to
Um,
be some of your favorite on-court shoes this year? If you need to grab them and show them, it's all good. YouTube will gladly see this. But what are some on-court shoes we're going to see from you this upcoming year?
all right, let me. I might have to. I don't even know, but I might bring out some of these. Some.
Oh, a little throwback.
I like to change it up a little bit. I go with. I just got some GT cuts. I like Curry's a lot right now, even though they're not Nike, so it's kind of it's tough, but they're definitely my favorite. Curry nines. And then yeah, bro, Kobe's always have been a big thing, but they got so expensive, I stopped buying them. And then I was like, man, I can't do that.
Before I let you go, you definitely have a signature look now with this haircut you got.
Right
Is this
there.
going to stay throughout the year? Are you going to change it up? Are you going to keep this flow, or what's the plan?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I changed it up a lot. I had brown hair last year, like short, then I grew it out, went blonde. So I don't really know. I'm just letting it grow. I got a headband in right now. We're just kind of just rolling. So we'll see wherever it goes. I'm not sure.
Well, Dylan, I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with us. Anything to shout out before we get out of here?
Just my coaches, my family, teammates. That's it, man.
Well, everybody, expect to see a lot from Dylan Novak and the rest of the Gilbert North Eagles this upcoming year. Appreciate you coming on, man. Wishing nothing but the best of luck.
Sir,
Excited to see you play. I'm gonna try to pop out to one of these Saguaro or Higley games,
yeah,
but appreciate you, man, coming on. Expect nothing but the best from you, and I wish you the best of luck too.
sir. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.